Well, hello there, family. I didn't see you there. And welcome back to another edition of the Crenshaw Corner.
Yes.
I am your host, Sanchez Crenshaw, and as always, I am joined by almost the best part of my day.
The best host of this show, my God, Angela Crenshaw.
So we starting offline to the family. Okay, fine. Even before we get the full introduction out, we just lying to the family, which is fine with me.
You're not respecting me today.
So once again, family, I am Sanchez Crenshaw, your host with the most. And as always, I am joined by, we're going to say the absolute best part of my day.
Because I am. But go ahead.
The apple of my eye.
I am the apple.
The wind beneath my wings. The rib that completes me.
That was a hawk.
I don't know what that was.
That was a hawk.
That sounded it sounded like it was dying, whatever it was.
It was the wings of a hawk.
That was the wings of a dying bird, is what that was.
I don't like you, but go ahead.
The rib?
I think because you have you ever heard the wing of a hawk? Because I have.
Yeah, and it don't sound like that.
Okay, we're going to play a wing of a hawk, but go ahead.
What that was a dying vulture, is what that was.
I hate vultures. When I see them, I cringe, but go ahead.
The rib that completes me.
He's completed, guys, as you can see. Yes, he is.
The $1 billion princess to my Triple H.
I don't know these people. Okay, wait. Okay, Triple H is a wrestler.
Yes, he is.
And the $1 billion who?
The $1 billion princess.
That's his wife.
That is. What's his wife's name, though?
Come out, the $1 billion princess.
What's her name?
Billion.
What's the name on her birth certificate?
Dollar? I don't know. I don't know. Why? I don't understand why. If I got that part, clap for me. Be excited
Who
for
owns
me.
The company.
Egg McMahon's daughter. No, not Egg McMahon. Wait.
Why are you talking about Johnny Carson's sidekick?
Wait, not Egg McMahon. No.
This is not you getting a check from the publishing clearinghouse.
No. Okay.
You got the last name correct. It is McMahon.
The big neck dude, McMahon.
The big neck.
He has a really big neck.
That is not on his birth certificate.
But his neck is really big. Okay, Ed.
You said that already.
Okay, wait.
I told you they Egg McMahon. That's Johnny Carson's sidekick.
That's all I got. I got what I got.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Vincent, yes, him. Vince.
His daughter, Stephanie McMahon.
Stephanie, yes.
The $1 billion princess.
I didn't even know they changed her name. Now, if you would have just said Stephanie, I would have got that.
I don't want to do this with you anymore.
I'm just saying. I think that you didn't give me credit because I got the whole. Come on.
I'm contemplating. I don't even know if I want to continue to do life with you anymore. I don't know. It's my head.
So you're not gonna give me credit. I did that immediately. Like I knew the answer like that. Like.
Is that what we're gonna go with?
Yes.
Got a question for you. Yeah. Are you gonna say your name?
I did early when I said I was the best part, but I can do it again because they do need to know. What's going on, family? What is going on? I am Angela Crenshaw.
That's my wife, family. Family, that is my wife.
I am his wife.
Family, welcome.
21 years.
21 long years.
February will be 22.
I've been doing this for 21 years. 21 consecutive years. That means one right after the other. That means I ain't missed a day. 21 consecutive years.
It's like a prison.
I've been doing this.
It's like a prison bid, bro.
No, I'm just saying, because we were saying how long we had been together.
Right. So
and you had said 21 years, and I just wanted to make sure the family understood that it's been 21 consecutive years.
Now, did you know?
That means one right after the other.
But did you know?
Yes, ma'am. I ain't missed a day.
August 29th will be 22 years we've been together. And February will be 21 years we've been married.
Actually, August 29th will be 22 years we've known each other.
So when did I get with you?
The day 30th? You married me. That's when you got with me, the day you married me. You got with me February 7th.
No, my spirit got with you the day I saw you when you was on the floor high. Remember at the training room, you was on the floor high, my spirit's mad at that point.
So is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we were best friends forever.
So is that what we're doing?
Because I'm talking about not marriage, but I'm talking about being together, like best friends, like being together.
21 consecutive years. one right after the other. I ain't missed
Monday, Tuesday,
a day.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday,
You trying to get us copyright infringed over here. You trying to get a lawsuit.
We do not own the rights to that song.
I ain't paid the lawyers yet. You trying to get us.
We
Can
don't
we
own the
finish the introduction?
Okay, go ahead.
Is
Go
that
for it.
possible?
Go for it.
Family, welcome.
Welcome.
For our new family members, welcome.
Yes.
However you're listening, whether it's on iTunes, whether it's Podbean, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Google Play, whether it's Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, or on our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com.
Yes.
Wow. Welcome.
Welcome, family.
For our returning family members.
Come on, returners.
You already know how we feel about you. We thank you
love
so much for being a part. We thank you so much for listening.
Yes.
So much for keep coming back. You keep showing us love.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we really do. We really do appreciate you guys. And as always, welcome to the cookout.
Yes.
Make sure you bring some aluminum foil so you can what, babe?
Take something with you.
So you can take something with you.
A Crenshaw nugget, something.
Different perspective.
I haven't done
What?
Oh wait, what is it?
Clubhouse gym.
Clubhouse. A gym, if you say a gym,
Wow.
A Crenshaw gym. I feel good.
Possibly a new resume, just something. Just take something with you. Drop off something if you want to drop off a resume.
But you got another whole Crenshaw girl. You could try her out. You could audition her.
Yeah, but she be acting funny too. So she be acting funny style.
I
So
resent that.
See, she talked before she was supposed to be talking.
you
See
mean
that?
you resemble that? Is what you mean?
No, I resent. I said
I'm
the right
just
word.
saying.
I said the correct word. I've been quiet long enough. Y'all forgot about me. It's okay.
You're not part of the introduction, sis.
The introduction was 17 minutes long.
It was not. See,
How long is this podcast supposed to be?
You like your father.
The introduction was 33 minutes and 22 seconds. I'm not even done with the introduction.
you
yet.
like your daddy.
Okay,
You just-
I'll wait patiently.
I'm just saying.
It's too late now, sis. You don't talk.
Go ahead, introduce me.
No,
And
ain't
then-
nobody. that half a second gotta introduce me.
And as always, family, we consider ourselves an interactive podcast.
We are.
Which means we can be found on the socials.
Yes.
We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on
We
Facebook.
instas.
all
We're
under,
bookers.
Oh, Lord.
And we tweet.
All under Crenshaw Corner.
Yes.
And, of course, you can email us at any time at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Once again, thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Yeah. Now, family, as you heard,
Yes.
there's another voice
She back.
amidst the airways
My
today.
stink. She back. Hi, stink.
Hi, friend.
Yeah, she's funny acting, though. She's funny
Whoa,
acting.
whoa. No, I'm not.
Tell the family your name again.
I am, for the ones who know me, hey.
Hey.
For the ones who don't, I'm the best Crenshaw of the Crenshaw household. I'm Morgan Crenshaw. I'm the baby.
That's what she's.
Best of what, though?
The Crenshaws.
Wow.
Yeah, what she doesn't like family is confidence, if you notice.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm the one that's going to keep on the legacy. Y'all not going to be on this earth for very much longer.
What the heck?
She almost made you cuss.
Oh, this is a family Christian program.
Listen.
Hey, you tried to get me. I had to catch myself.
She tried to, baby, did she out
I'm
here in these
sorry.
streets?
I was channeling my father, Joseph Paul Hudson, and I was about to say some words that you don't say on Christian Airways.
Y'all got some good years ahead of y'all.
Yeah,
Some
we do. We have
good
great years.
But when y'all
So
go
is-
on to glory,
Is you planning
I will be
something is
here.
what I want to know.
Nah, because I don't know what the will look like yet.
Well, let me ask you a question. You do
Wow.
got other siblings.
And they going to be calling me.
So, because you the only girl
I'm
in
the
the baby.
caretaker of the family, of the next generation. We already know this. We've talked about this multiple times.
This is
You don't trust your brothers?
Not at all. That is not a secret.
This is crazy.
I think your brothers will do good.
They call me for Mother's Day
This is true.
and Father's Day.
I'm still waiting on my Father's Day gift.
Right.
He
I
said
feel
he
like-
was going to break it.
And out of the 4 kids, who got you a gift? This one right here. And it was a good one. I forgot what it was, but it was a good one.
That's so
Oh,
wow.
no, I took you out. I took you
You
out.
took him out.
Yeah, you took me
You
out.
took him out. And then didn't y'all go to
We went to the rage room.
Rage room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Took me out for a nice
no, he
dinner
got
in the
another
rage room.
gift. It just ain't got here yet. He said he bringing it since June.
That was 1,742 days ago.
It don't matter. See, it's not. You. We gonna bubble it up.
It's gonna be a birthday gift because that's after Christmas.
We gonna bubble it up.
So family. Hey family. It's a wonderful Friday.
Yes, it is. Freedom Friday.
Freedom Friday.
Freedom Friday.
So what that means, family, you don't know what we're gonna talk about.
No.
Because on a Freedom Friday, we don't even know what we're gonna talk about.
No, we do.
Because
I
promise
I got
you,
it.
my wife woke me up and said, "Put up the microphones because we gonna talk." And I
Yeah.
don't even know what we talking about.
You all.
At least you got woke up nicely. She busted in my room, said, "We're going to record."
Yeah, because
I said, "Okay, have fun." She said,
because
"No, you
here's the
too."
thing. Here's the thing.
What's the thing?
Here's the thing. You gotta be ready.
Gotta think.
Stay ready.
Think.
Yes. Always
Think
stay
about
ready.
what you're trying to do to me.
What? No.
You better think.
No.
Think.
No. Stay ready. So you don't have to get ready, people. Y'all all know this. This is the family motto. Every child know to be ready. I could call them at any point and be like, get ready. They just need to be ready. But y'all.
here's the difference. Out of the 4, who's really going to get ready?
Oh no, y'all 4 gonna get ready. It's just the time frame of the readiness. Because the oldest, he gotta make a dramatic entrance. So if it's
This
4
is why
o'clock,
we start holidays an hour and a half late every year.
Is we
I'm ready.
gonna talk about anything
It's Fun Friday. We talking
before
now.
I turn these microphones
it's
off
Freedom Friday. Okay.
and go back to bed?
This is what I want to talk about. Okay.
What do you want to talk about? And it better be good.
It's good. It's a good topic.
Because if not, I'm gonna call you out on the public airways.
Listen, what I want to talk about is because it's back to school, right? All the kids are going back to school. We don't have any kids going back to school. School. Go talk about school.
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 SCKOOL. School.
Let's go.
It's school. School.
You know how long it's been since I've been in school?
We're going to talk about it. Don't even stress yourself about it.
But what is we talking about?
I thought it would be a great idea just to
I
have
is 43 years old. What is we talking about with school?
Harpo, listen. Okay, so I was like, you know what? All the parents on social media and every place else is like shopping. They ready to go back to school. And so I was like, this is like, we haven't had to shop for back to school in so long.
Right.
And it seemed like all of them were having so much fun. So I was like, you know what? Let's discuss.
What are we discussing though?
Okay, do you remember your first time going to school?
44 years ago?
Now you're 44? I don't care what year. Do you remember your first time going to school?
I remember, yes and no.
Okay, go ahead.
I remember my daycare experience. I remember that.
Don't do that because when mom was here, you discussed it. And
I'm saying though,
don't do the daycare.
I'm just saying,
she
did me wrong.
She said she was sorry
with the daycare. Is all
don't
I'm
live
saying.
in the past. When she
I'm not
came
living
here last month, she said she was sorry
She
about the daycare.
She apologized for it. It was
okay,
a
thank
bad
you.
experience.
Don't do that to my mother.
I do remember. I remember kindergarten.
Oh.
I don't necessarily remember, and I remember kindergarten because I remember my kindergarten teachers. So I remember them. So I remember
more than one teacher in
I had
kindergarten.
two because when I was my generation, when we was going to school so long ago.
Don't do this.
There was always a teacher and a teacher's aide. There was always a teacher and a teacher's assistant. It was never just one teacher in the room.
Right.
Especially in my grammar school years.
Okay.
In my elementary school years. So I remember my teachers. It was the crazy part. I don't necessarily remember their name.
Right.
But I remember their faces. And I remember the essence of them and who they were.
Did you like them?
I did. I loved them because
little Sanchez in kindergarten.
Yeah, little Sanchez with a big head in kindergarten. Because when I was a baby, when I was little, I was skinty. I was real skinty.
What was you, baby?
I was skinty when I was little. I really was. And then, but I had a big head. I was like my grandson. I was like, Pooh.
Don't do that.
But I was.
Let me stop you now.
No, my grandson has a big head.
Pooh does not have a big head.
Yeah, I know he does.
Pooh does not have a big head.
No, Pooh look like a light bulb.
He
got a little body and a big head sitting on top of it.
I'm trying my best.
He has a big head with no wrist or angles, and he leads with his belly.
He leads with his belly.
You know what?
Do you know he keeps his belly out at school? Like his belly just be out.
Because he has
belly button.
He has no other choice. It's just there.
It's just there.
It's just there.
He's so not chunky. It's just belly. Where did that come from?
But what happens? It keeps him balanced because his little head so big.
He would.
So the equilibrium. He would just topple over.
Yeah, that's what it does.
He would be like a weeble wobble. He just topple over.
I tell you,
you know, he walks like Mr. Brown because he has his belly out when he waddles to the side.
Yeah, he kind of do.
Let me explain something to y'all
What's
before this become a different kind of podcast. Okay,
what happened?
Y'all got one more time. Leave Pooh. Pooh, I love you. Leave Pooh because when he get old and hear this and be traumatized.
Oh, he gonna know he has a big head.
I tell him all the time.
No, he doesn't have a big head.
You know what he needs to learn because you taught this since we talk about school age and everything.
Right.
While I was school aged, the stuff that got told to me has made me into the human being I am now.
Stuff like what?
He needs to grow into. Well, when I was 17.
That ain't school age.
I was still in school.
Okay, well I guess you
I
was.
was still in school. You told me I sucked the life out of you. So these are the things that you told me.
That must have been your daddy. That was not me.
It definitely was. It definitely was.
It was your dad.
So these are the things that I was told as a child that has made me into the confident adult I am now. Oh, he gonna get the same treatment.
He's not.
In this family.
His head is not big though.
But
It's very large.
Carry on, babe, with
It
your
is.
big head.
But I'm sorry. But could we add a little context to that though? Because I'm pretty sure I just didn't come out the blue and just be like, "Hey, you sucked the life out of me."
No, you do. Yeah, you do.
Okay, here's the thing.
You would say
for
stuff like that out
people
the blue.
who don't really know the Crenshaw family, we are not a very touchy-feely, very affectionate, very emotional family.
We're not.
The way we let you know that we love you and that we are caring about you and we're okay is we gonna clown on you.
Yeah, all
and
day.
that is one thing I had to learn as a child.
Yeah.
I was very affectionate, very touchy-lovey when I was younger. I am no
Wrong-
longer that way
wrong
unless
brothers for
I
that.
want to be. So
Wrong brothers
it's just,
and parents.
I mean, and there's nothing wrong with it, but that's just who we are as a unit. And I mean, everybody in the family is that way.
Yes.
No,
So-
I just believe in giving life lessons. That's all. I
were
just
you
believe
trying
in
to
life
teach?
What were you
When
lessons.
teaching
told
her when
me
you
that.
told her she sucked the life out of you, baby? What lesson were you teaching her?
Do you want me to tell them the lesson you told me when I was 18?
What lesson I teach you at 18?
Multiple. You should
Don't
Yeah.
be that broad.
don't be that broad.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then when I turned 18, he told me I met my life goal. I kept you out the pole.
Right.
Yeah, that was my only goal as a
so,
child.
Yeah, and you also told her when she went to college you was buying her a whatchamacallit bear, a Build-A-Bear. So whenever she hugged it, it would say, "Don't be that broad."
Yeah, don't be that broad.
You did tell me that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I teach. Yeah.
And I just had to go about life to this day and figure out what kind of broad he didn't want me to be.
Yeah, don't
Because
be
he
that
didn't really
broad.
give you
No,
a
it
description
was just that broad.
No,
but
I-
there were so many broads he didn't want me to be, so I just had to keep and pick and choose.
That's right.
Talk about
Yeah.
school.
Because
Yeah.
everybody know that broad.
But what
what he
broad
said.
is it?
That broad.
That broad.
That broad. What more you know that
I know exactly who
That
I
broad.
Yeah, that broad.
Every-
I can picture it in my head.
everybody been at a party or been at a restaurant or been in the mall, and you saw that broad, you was like, "Yo, that's that broad right there."
Yeah.
It's like, don't be that broad.
You don't want somebody to be that's that broad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and
nah,
I thank you for that because you have not been that broad.
I'm
I
just
appreciate
saying.
it.
But as a father, because I was a relatively younger father,
You were.
because these old women out here just coming after me. Just one old woman after the other, just coming after me. And so I was a relatively young father.
Morgan, cover your ears as I say what I need to say to your dad, okay? Thank you. Okay, carry on, Mr. Crenshaw.
So I'm just saying. So
Back to your big head days, because
Wow.
your head was big.
it was. I grew into it. I grew into my head. But it was the lead teacher was an older lady. My assistant teacher was a younger lady. I mean, she wasn't like 1920. I mean, the older teacher was like she was a real school teacher.
The 60.
Yeah, she was like in her
60,
in her
50, 60.
late 50s, early 60s. Not like these little teeny
22.
bopper teachers that's out here
22.
right now. That's the same age as the high school people they teaching. But then, and the assistant teacher, she was like in her 30s. But yeah, I remember that. I remember first grade, kind of a little bit, but I remember more other days. I don't necessarily remember like the very first day I walked into class or the very first day I walked into school. I don't necessarily remember that. Do you remember that? Do you remember your actual first day of school?
Yeah.
Would say, okay, just before you begin, just one quick
Make
question.
a joke and I'm going to bust you in the head.
No, because I'm really serious. I'm really curious.
I'm going to bust you.
No, I'm just really curious.
ahead.
Because like I've seen it, because I grew up watching a lot of TV. So I'm just curious. So I'm just curious, how did they do it
I'm warning you.
on your first day?
You told me to cover my ears. I don't know
Because
nothing.
like from what I've seen on TV, like doing my history lesson, looking at history books and reading and looking at different things. Because I remember it's like, the 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, the 9-year-olds, the 13-year-olds, the 15-year-olds, they were all in the same building. And then like the school teacher would go out to the front of the building and ring the bell. And be like, school.
So I'm Little House with a Parent right now.
I'm just saying, like, because that's your time frame, right?
I'm going to whoop you.
That was the
No, it was
that's not. That wasn't the use you grew up in.
No. First of all,
I'm saying y'all was the school marm.
No.
You had the school marm.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying.
Not only do I remember my first day of school, I know what state I was in. I know the teacher that I had.
I hope you know what state you was in.
I'm gonna tell you why, because for my elementary life, I started in North Carolina, but I ended in New York City.
Right.
And so
On the run.
on the run. I'm always on the run. My
Always
mom
on
always
the
got me
run.
on the run. And I went to S.W. Snowden Elementary.
So, like I said, the school
Don't
marm
do
with
that.
the bell.
No,
you
it
went
was
to
no-
S.W. Snow.
S.W. Snowden Elementary in Aurora, North Carolina. Thank you very much, Lil Washington.
Like I said, lady
and
with the bell.
It had 3 brick buildings. Thank you very much. Hello. Thank you very much. My first teacher was named Miss Mayo.
Miss Mayo.
Miss Mayo. And the reason why I remember Miss Mayo, this was the first time that my parents realized that at a very young age I had a mouth on me. Well, first of all, I didn't.
It took them that long to realize it?
No, they knew, but they
What,
didn't know I was
first
going to be
grade?
like that.
Wow.
Well, the first thing is I never went to kindergarten. I when they did the testing and everything, I went straight to first grade. I never went to kindergarten. I went straight to first grade.
You was special.
I was smart. Still smart. But anyway, and
you was in them special ed classes.
I just don't like you the way people think I do. It's okay. And so I got in trouble for saying something to Miss Mayo, and she's gonna tell me to go to the chalkboard,
right.
and there's a paddle, and it had her name on it.
Right.
Seriously, her name, ma'am, and was like, and bring me the paddle, and to hold out my hand. I said, I'm not getting nothing, and I'm not holding out my hand. And all the little kids, I don't even know if they knew what ooh was, but they was like, ooh. Ooh.
You really did go to school in 1863.
I did, cool. 1863. Thank you.
Really cool.
It was 1863.
They were still paddling kids.
They were still paddling kids then.
That's cool.
And so I got in trouble. My mom and dad came and got me, and I got in trouble for my mouth. And I've always gotten in trouble for my mouth thereafter. I've always, you just not going to do what you want to do to me.
And you still getting in trouble behind your mouth now.
So then I went to...
I wish you would use your mouth a little better.
New York City. It's New York City. I went to school in New York City.
I'm just saying.
PS 270 from Lafayette Gardens in Brooklyn,
right, on
Clausen Avenue in DeKalb or whatever. And now the only thing I remember about that is I had a black woman principal named Miss James. And Miss James and my mom got into it about the fight, and then they threw my mom off the premises. And then when I graduated from that elementary school, my mother came. At the time, my mother was... she was drinking.
Right.
She was casual.
She's a casual
drinker.
Casually drinking every day.
Casually drinking every day. And I remember them, my graduation, and I had on light blue. I remember all this. I had on light blue.
You actually have a really good memory.
Yeah, I had on light blue, and my mom came, and I don't know who had, I think Grandma Bessie had this picture, but she's passed away, but I don't know who had the picture because they took the picture of it. And my mother came.
You almost said that lovingly.
Grandma Bessie?
Yeah, you almost said that lovingly.
I said it lovingly.
Like you almost miss her.
So he trying to get me today, y'all. So then my mother came to the graduation with her casual drinking self.
Right.
And she was a little bit
casually drunk.
And she came, but at least she came.
She was there.
To the graduation.
She was there.
But her wig had a part. And so the part, the back of their wig with a part would be on the side,
right,
like a coif. Well, my mother had got she was disoriented, and so she got confused, and so her wig part was in the middle. That's your grandmama, Morgan. And so and her part was in the middle, and then I graduated, and then she cussed Miss James out because she said I was never coming back to the school, so this was her opportunity to cuss her black A out. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's how my elementary.
That was your elementary school experience.
How about yours, Morgan?
Do you remember your first day of school?
Do you remember your first day of school?
No.
Really?
Here's the thing. I think once I graduated high school, there's a lot of things I know about schooling, the 12 years of schooling, that I do not remember.
Really?
There are certain things. I moved around a lot when I was younger between elementary. I think I went to 3 or 4 elementary, and then I went to 3 middle school. So every year, I don't have a lot to remember because I moved around a lot. But I will say one thing that was always consistent, and I was just telling you this earlier. Always consistent. My birthday is in the middle of the school year, towards the end, but it's still during the school year. Every year, starting from daycare, I got cupcakes all the way up to high school, senior year.
Yep,
cupcakes every year. My mother always came and had lunch with me and brought me cupcakes. And when she moved away, you guys made sure that I still got my cupcakes. 4th grade, I was telling Aaron, I got called to the office twice that day because you guys brought me cupcakes and she brought me cupcakes. And it was one of the things that I know I'm going to implement with my kids, because that was one thing I thoroughly enjoyed.
Right.
I knew for a fact on that day I was going to have cupcakes and my mom was going to come eat lunch with me.
And you just knew it was going to happen.
I just knew it. Yeah.
Listen, I think for me, as a parent, when you guys were all in school, I loved to school shop. Not for the clothes, more for the supplies, though.
Because you just love to shop, period. Any reason for you to shop.
You guys don't understand the bins, and I mean bins.
Tote bins.
Of school supplies.
Literal
It was never, I need to
storage bins.
You know how parents re-up after Christmas. No, ma'am. No ham, no turkey. We didn't have to. It was go on the school bin and find you a pencil. And I couldn't have mechanical pencil.
No.
Like normal human beings.
I
had to use wooden pencils. And we had a pencil sharpener that would attach to the counter that I had to empty out every other week.
Sure did.
Yes, sure did.
But I definitely use my mechanical pencils at school, though. And at home.
Disrespectful.
And at home, I use my
baby, there's no
wooden
there's
pencils.
no limit of
statute of limitations.
Whooper. Because you the one who told her she couldn't have a man. And now she all grown up here at 24 talking about, I had my whooper.
No, because the mechanical
pencils,
they were too light. You couldn't read what you were writing. It was just wrong. You better get you a number 2 pencil, sit down somewhere.
Mm-hmm. You want to know another thing that I remember my school years?
What you remember?
Homework with you too.
What you remember? What you remember about that, Morgan? What you remember about homework with the two of us?
Let me get myself together.
Me, you, Day and Daddy.
Let me get myself together.
Get yourself together.
Here's the thing you need to know about the 4 Crenshaw kids. I was the brainiac. And there's no easy. I was the one who loved school. Like, no, there was never a choice for me not to go to college. It was, so what college you going to? Mm-hmm. It was never, do you want to go to college? Mm-hmm. It was just the expectation because I was that kid. So when it came to homework, I was the one. I had my homework done. Mm-hmm. Now my older brother, on the other hand, not quite. He was the one where he had to get his book bag shooken out every week because he would lose his homework in the book bag. It was crumpled up and it was disorganized. When I tell you that my book bag had 17 folders and I only needed 6, everything was in a pocket protector. Mm-hmm. I made a mistake and messed up on an essay one time, and Mr. Crenshaw took my paper and ripped it up and told me to rewrite it. I think I cried that day.
You cried.
Well, hold on. Stop for a second. See, once again, you're talking to the family out of context.
Here's the context.
You're not giving the family the full context.
I said I messed up, but here's the thing. I was rushing. I was tired. I've always taken AP classes. My senior year, I took 4. Why? I only needed 4 credits to graduate. I don't know. I took 4 AP, and I was writing an essay, and I was tired, and I didn't want to do it. I wrote it sloppily. He told me, no, you know better. You're better than this. But instead of saying that in his own way, he was like, do it again because I know you can do it. So he rips it up.
Yep. Yeah. In front of you.
Because I didn't want you, because I know what you would have done. You would have just taken that same piece of paper and just added to the foolishness
and
that you had brought to me. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to make sure you got a fresh start.
Yes.
And understood how serious it was because the lesson, once again, life lessons. The lessons there is that you were only cheating yourself.
Right.
Because you were not applying your full potential to it. And if you're going to do anything, you know my philosophy, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it right. So you don't have to do it again.
And here's the thing about that. Let me just roll you back, sis. Your habits of how you actually study is because we gave you those habits because your tail when you first used to study.
Oh yeah.
No, ma'am. No, me gusta. I guess I'm saying that wrong. I don't know. Your study habits was like what? It is not.
You just offended our Latin population of the family.
I'm so sorry, family.
We sorry, family.
We so sorry like you. But your study habits was like I couldn't. So you had to get index cards and every single thing else because we knew you had it in you. But once you got it, I didn't have to do it anymore because you ran with it and was like, oh, is that what y'all want? Psh, I'm out. And that's it. Now, your older brother, not the oldest, but the brother over you. You know, I had to get him sheet protectors because he would lose this. Listen to me. He would be so upset because I would make every subject have. Matter of fact, I did to you too. They had sheet protectors for their syllabus and every subject. Told them to pieces. We checked their homework at night. Really not so much Morgan's because Morgan would get mad at Day because she couldn't go to bed till Day went to bed because until everybody homework is done at one time, they couldn't go to bed.
Yeah, nobody could go to bed.
She would be so angry at her brother. She's like, I am finished today. And then that joker will fall asleep. Oh, she would be so irritated. Like, we are going to be here in this living room all night long.
The part I never understood about my son is that he would do the homework.
Right.
And then not turn it in.
And never turn it in.
So it's like he getting zeros on assignment. She's like, okay, but boy, I know you did this assignment. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot to turn it in. Boy, how you forget? You spent 3 hours on that floor being mad doing this homework and you forget to turn it in?
I think he was doing that out of spite.
I vividly see us at our old apartment 4 apartments ago, I vividly see him laying one side, me laying one side. He has his book bag on his back, in his hand, lip in his mouth, laying on one arm on his papers, and me doing the same thing on the other side. But I'm done waiting on him.
Like, I can't go to bed.
So when y'all weren't looking, I would either try to help, try to wake him up, try to make sure he was. What do you need? Do you want me to? Let me put your book back. Let me. When I tell you I've been taking care of this boy,
I want to go to bed. I want to go to bed.
I have been forever.
Because that's what sisters do.
It's just my role.
But the crazy part is that even like growing up, because I know growing up you were Morgan. Growing up when it came to school.
Yeah.
As far as took school very serious, took homework very serious, took your assignments very serious.
I ain't play that.
You know, was always the smartest one in the class.
My mama name was Sylvia.
Yeah.
And I told you she was a casual drinker.
Yeah. I, on the other hand, I was so much Dalen. Because I did not apply myself in school at all. I was, and my mother and I talk about it all the time, because I was and I think I've said it before on the podcast, I was the kid that did not have to necessarily try. Because I would miss like a month of school and then come in and still end up with a C in the class.
That makes no sense. That's evil.
Or not study for a test and still end up passing the test just because of the stuff that I halfway listened to when I was sitting in the classroom.
That's evil.
So I used to do stuff like that. Like if I really applied myself in school, not to my own home, but if I really applied myself, I would have been like Morgan. I would have graduated with over a 4.0 average.
Yeah, but you just decided not to.
It just wasn't my thing. I spent a lot of time in school bored. I was very bored in school.
Yeah, that was
because
that's why I talked all the time.
Yeah, what they were talking about, it was just the way I came from a generation where they taught everybody the same way.
No, everything is cookie cutter.
Yeah, everything was cookie cutter. And when I started my school, when I was going to school, is when it started transitioning to that more standardized testing, where it became more important about the testing.
Yeah.
And not necessarily about the learning.
Yeah, because it was about if your area tests well, you would get the money.
You get the funds.
So that was the only thing that they were concerned about, you know?
So for me, it was like, I stayed bored in school, especially now it was different. Like when I was in grammar school, elementary school, it was wonderful. You know, I actually enjoyed school. I loved my teachers or whatever. You know, I was a straight A student coming out of grammar school. But it's when I hit middle school is when everything changed.
I think middle school always changes everybody, though.
Yeah, middle school definitely changed for me.
Yeah.
I actually truly became a totally different person when it came to middle school. And I think for me that I didn't do that freedom well. For me, that transition to that freedom.
Yeah.
Because by the time I got to middle school is when it started transitioning for me. My teachers didn't really care about you like that.
Wow.
They had 7 classes a day, 32 students in a class.
And they don't care.
It wasn't, because that was a culture shock for me, because I came from seeing the exact same teacher every day, spending every day with the same teacher,
right?
Taking the time with just her 32 students or 28 students, whatever, you know, on a regular basis.
Right.
To now I got 7 teachers.
Yeah.
They got 7 classes a day. Yeah. It's 32 kids in each class. And it's a meal. We just running them in and out. So you don't do your homework. Oh, you do your homework.
You do your homework.
Take that 0 and go about your life.
Now the crazy part for me, because I like Morgan, I moved so much, you know, from state to state.
Right.
But when I think about, because I'm gonna ask you this question, Morgan. When I think about school, the best
when
time
I think
for
about
me,
Jesus, what He's done for me. When I think about Jesus, how He sets me free, I can dance all night. What's up?
Thank you. We love you. And for me, you would think I would say high school, but actually middle school was the best for me. I went to Francis Scott Keys, which is in New York and Brooklyn as well. Only because not only was I disciplined, but I was on the track team.
Right.
So you had to be disciplined. And I ran the Colgate's women's games and all that. So there was a discipline that you had to even be on the track team. That was my favorite time. Not that high school. High school was cool. You know, high school's okay. I fought more in high school than I did in middle school because I had to be, like I said, I couldn't do much if I wanted to stay on this track team, which gave me my freedom. High school, I fought a lot. I fought a lot in high school, but middle school was my favorite for me. Was it middle school, elementary, or high school? What was your favorite, Morgan?
I think I'd probably say elementary school.
Really?
Yeah, elementary school was just fun. Like, that's when I started my loving of reading. Mm-hmm. I started reading 5th grade, I think, is when I really started getting into books. 5th grade going into 6th grade. Twilight, honestly, is really what opened that, unfortunately.
Lord.
Which is back on Netflix, and I will be having a marathon this weekend. But there's nothing over there.
The twinkling vampires.
Yeah.
Twinkle, twinkle.
Why the vampires shining? But let's not go
Why
there.
they shimmering?
This is the shimmering killer, Bella.
Anyway.
The most toxic
It's so toxic.
relationship
Oh, it's so
in human history.
Toxic. If she was normal, toxic.
Yeah.
Even Jacob was toxic. But that's not.
I
can do a whole podcast on that by itself.
One day we're gonna do a Twilight podcast just for you.
I'm here for it.
We're
Let me
We gonna break down.
Oh, just you and your
Twilight.
daughter. I'm not gonna be here, right? Amen.
No, you too.
No. I don't like it like that.
But middle school was hard for me because it was a year that, like Daddy said, it's such a huge transition, and I could never get stability. I went to 3 different middle schools, which means every year. 3, and then 8th grade, I was in 2 different middle schools the same year.
Right.
So 8th grade is when I really started.
Sound like at that time your parents was a hot mess at that time. That's what it sound like. That's what it sounds
use
like.
that word.
I think that's when you began to flip flop with us and with them.
Yes.
And so you went from one school to the other. So I think when I always think about you from middle school, it was difficult because you had to be one way in one house and one way in another.
Right.
And I think that's where the difficulty came in, and how you gonna keep your friends if
Right.
you keep going to different schools.
It was never school. School was never the issue. I'm honestly like Daddy like that. Like, it doesn't. I don't have to study if I don't want to.
Right.
Like, I'm easy enough to be like, and it's common sense.
Right.
What do you mean you don't get that? No, math is different. Numbers should only be applied with time and money.
Let's pray.
Show me where I'm gonna have to use the quadratic equation in everyday life.
You use it every day.
No, I do not.
Not that equation, but the philosophy and the thought process about processing something you use every day.
In 43 years outside of school, I have never solved for X.
So what you're saying is problem solving. I use problem solving.
That's what I'm saying. The process
I
of
use
doing
logic
that.
more. You learn logic in English.
Listen, but anywho, processing, knowing how to process and solve issues.
I don't need to know why. If Jimmy has 7 apples and Sally took 2 of them, Sally has 2 apples because she took 2 apples.
Yeah, but we want to see if Sally a thief or not. But go ahead.
I don't care if the train leaves New York at 3 o'clock
and another train leaves
and another
Baltimore.
lane Baltimore at 9 o'clock. At what point in time? I don't care when the 2 trains
They
meet.
hit Washington at the same time.
I don't care.
You need to know what time you need to be. What if Waze go down or Google Map? Don't you want to know how to time something? Anyway, carry on, little girl, because this stuff was
Nothing
needed.
you said made sense.
It made sense. Y'all just don't want to listen. It's the process.
Finish your thought.
Yes,
baby.
it was the personal life that was for me. That was for me. That was more difficult. There was a lot going on there was just a lot going on outside of work. I mean, outside of work. I was a full-time student outside of school. When I got to high school, I found my way in high school. I found theater, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I still had my love of acting.
Yeah, you were a theater kid.
I was a theater kid. I found
was.
my clique, but I was also the type of person where I could talk to anybody.
No, ma'am. You actually found your bug for acting in middle school because
I found it in middle school.
But you really went gun-ho for it in high school because you were acting since you was in like what
7th grade,
6th, 7th grade. Yeah.
It was one. My parents believed that an idle mind and a child is dangerous, so I had something to do Monday through Thursday.
Yes, ma'am.
Friday was my only free day, and that's because I had to go to the other side of town with my family, with my mother.
You wasn't playing those games. Your mind ain't gonna be idle.
So one of the things was acting, and I found my niche. I found that's what I really enjoyed doing. I really loved, becoming different characters, and I think I got my love from that from books.
Yeah.
Because when I was reading a book, I always had a book in my desk because, like, Daddy, I got bored, so we would talk and get in trouble.
You wasn't gonna be a fast tail little girl in my house, so you was gonna be doing something. You was gonna be
a what?
A little fast tail girl.
Up.
You wasn't gonna be doing that in my house.
So I was either
go do something.
Get in trouble for talking, which was always on my report cards as an elementary school student. Morgan is very bright. Morgan is very smart. Morgan talks too much.
Morgan is very talkative.
Yeah. So books helped me escape what was going on out of everything else. Like, books was my...
And that's weird, too, because here we are now. Your age, you barely talk. You talk when you feel like it, but you don't talk like when you were young, people was like, drove your brothers crazy. But you're like your father, the older you got, it's like,
That's what I had to say. I don't have a lot to say.
I don't got a lot to say.
If I have something to say, I can talk your ear off. But when I want to, I go in my dungeon.
No, it's
and
just
that's it.
We just choose our words. That's all. Where some people they just they enjoy the act of talking, and they enjoy just regurgitating every word that they know, and just allowing their mouth to be a, for lack of a better term, a spewing volcano.
Spewing. Oh God, help me.
First of all, I read a book called My Mouth is a Volcano to the kids about interrupting, which was fun because you just said that. And
Right.
You realize I talk all day.
Yeah,
Monday through Friday.
To the kids.
Yeah, well, to the kids.
9 through 6, I talk all day. So when I come home, I don't want to talk.
No, but you had been changed. You had really shut down the whole talking thing.
As a teacher in college, I talked all day. And have you ever been in an elementary school like classroom? Not just in like in a classroom, like you're actually learning how to be a teacher. When I tell you those professors are on 97% of the time, and they just want you to turn to your neighbor, turn and talk to your neighbor. Ask your neighbor what's the question on the board. 30 seconds, we're going to come back and we're going to do a round robin.
Is that how they do it?
Yes.
Listen, I've been in college long enough to know that.
Since we're talking about school, I got a question for you, Turtle. Since we have a child perspective here.
Okay.
I'm not saying you're a child now, but
Younger perspective.
So when you were in school, what do you wish that we would have paid more attention to when it comes to school, when it came to your schooling and things that were going on in school? That question makes sense?
Mm-hmm. It was just what was going on outside of school. So I feel like if we would have actually sat down and talked about the changes that was going on and what was going on, and like before, we are where we are now with all my parents, but if we actually had that conversation years ago,
right.
I don't think that I would have escaped to books as much, which I still love reading. Just the act of reading is amazing. Words, I get that from you. Words are amazing.
Right.
But also, I think if we had realized early on how I'm affected by change, I wouldn't have lost my mind every time I had a tendency.
Changed.
So 6th grade, 9th grade.
I'm sorry. No, ma'am. No Magoose again. That's probably wrong. No, I knew. I don't know about anybody else. I knew you didn't like change. I dealt with your craziness every time you flipped.
But I feel like if we had sat down and actually talked about why, and we talked about it, but I feel like what the root of the problem was.
Of it, yeah.
Right. To this day, I still don't know what the root of the cause is.
Right.
But change affects me so viscerally. It's just one of those things that's just like, right. So that came out in my schoolwork because that was the only thing I could control at the time, because I couldn't control anything else that was going on. So that was the only, or to me, that's how I felt as a child. You don't have a say. That's just how you feel.
Right.
So when the only thing I could control was school, and I just decided no.
Yeah, I asked that question for a reason, because I think when it comes to parents, we don't pay attention to that enough. Is that because especially with the generation before me, the generation that raised me, they had a tendency of thinking because you were a child, then you have no issues. You don't have to worry about bills. You don't have to worry about how the light's going to be on. You don't have to worry about working. So we don't think that things affect you because you're a child, but not realizing you're still a little human.
Yeah.
So things do affect you. Just like as an adult, if we have stressors in our life, it affects our work output.
Yeah.
You're not a good employee if your outside life is stressed all the time because you can't focus fully on the task at hand. And I think parents forget that about their kids.
But let me ask you this question, because I know for us, we've always had free fall. Door was always open. You can say whatever. Did you felt that way because you didn't trust us to tell us the truth? Because we've always had, say what you want to say, as long as you say it correctly. We've always had so much, because we the most talk out family per your brothers as well. But did you not trust? Was it because you had two different homes that you had to deal with? Because I know for us, it was we would get on you, say what you need to say, do what you need to do.
Let me add to that before you answer. Or was it that the right people were not talking? Because we were talking to you, but the adults were actually not talking properly. So was it that we were not talking to you enough, or was it that the adults were not talking enough?
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, not even think that's what it was. It was being the child on the outside looking in, watching what was happening between you guys.
Right.
And feeling that it wasn't my fault. I knew it was never my fault. But I feel like what can I do to make this easier?
Right.
So that's why I was one way, and one way the other way. Because I'm like, okay, let me just be the person I need to be here and be the person I need to be here. And I could just be, it's just easy that way.
Yeah.
Kind of found out that was not the way to do it. It just made things harder until I went to college.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then lost your ever loving mind when you went to college.
But again, change.
But I go back to did you not trust it? Because we would go, be yourself. Say no. If this is not what you want to do, say no. This is not where you want to be. So is it not that you didn't believe that we would? I'm trying to. Did you not believe that we believed you if you said it, or did you feel like you had to protect us and not hurt our feelings? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
That's what I felt.
Because we've always been like, if you don't want to do it, if you don't want to come, if you don't want to do it, we're so okay with everything. So with all of you guys, which sometimes to a default, sometimes I'm like, should we be moved by half the stuff our kids do, but we don't be. But so do you think it was that thing where you're like, okay, and I'm going to tell you about your change in a minute, but did you feel like, okay, did you not trust us to believe that we would walk with you on that, or do you just felt like, yo, if I say this, how do I affect everybody in the room? Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying?
It was like, if I really say how I feel, or even if it was that, and it was sometimes I felt like I couldn't articulate because I didn't know what was really like how I felt. Right. It was just like I knew something was like combating in me, and I was just like, I don't know how to say this, so I just never did. Right. I just kept it to myself. It was if I feel like if I did say this in a way, someone's gonna get hurt. Right. And then at the end of the day, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Yeah, yeah. Which be to the detriment of your mindset. Now, here's the thing why you have a hard time with change. For me, from what I've seen, because you've moved around so much, because it was so much going on, you did not know when things were going to change. So I think you just had a hard time like, here we go changing again. Like here we go changing again. Oh, as we change. So I think the hard part is dealing with that because it was so much change going on in your little life. And like you said, it was something that you could not control. So every time something changed, you would freak out because I felt like you was freaking out and going, well, how comfortable do I get with this situation before it gets snatched? How comfortable, when they say it's going to be okay, is it really going to be okay? If you like, so, and I think, and the reason why I'm saying this, and it's so good to have a conversation about it, because I think a lot of times, you know, parents don't hear that, or we hear it, or we're trying to tell you what we feel, but you already have in your mind because of your situation and what's been going on that it's not to be true. Does that make sense? Like, I hear what you're saying. Y'all love me. They're going to be here for me. Ain't nothing going to change, but I've been down this road before. You know, it's like a bad relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been down this road before. Here we go again. With you saying that, honestly, it makes sense. When a few years ago you got offered to go to Canada. Right. I did not take that well. I didn't take it well at all. And I know we're the main reasons you didn't go. You didn't take us. Because I remember me saying, you told me I could be here for 4 years. Right. And selfishly, I know that was such a selfish thing to say. And I apologize for taking that away from you or adding to, you know, some of the decisions. But it was such a thing that was like, if you take me away from here, I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah. I couldn't do it again. And so now that you're saying that, it's like I got, as soon as I got comfortable, as soon as I was like, okay, we're good. Well, we're moving again. And it wasn't even just moving like up the street. I would move across towns, across cities, back and forth, like not sharing a room, having my own room, not having my own space, having my own space. It was one of those things that just really I couldn't handle. Yeah. So I sincerely apologize for being that selfish.
No, you're fine, baby. You're fine. No, because when I really look at it and I go back, it's more we put you in. When I say we, I mean the adults, all the adults that were involved, all the players, all the players during this time, is that we continuously put you in a bad situation because we were making bad decisions. Because at the end of the day, we were making selfish decisions at that time because we were making decisions that felt right to us and were short-term decisions. Not thinking about, basically, we were playing chess when we should have been playing chess. We were playing checkers when we should have been playing chess because we were not thinking 3 and 4 moves ahead. We were just thinking about the very next move. So it's understandable because, which is amazing to me, is that you and I are a lot alike in a certain ways because I should have picked up on it. I should have known that because that's the way I grew up. I grew up moving every year. I grew up moving all the time. You know, I've told this to your mom before, and I think I've said it on the podcast before. I never spent a Christmas more than one Christmas at any place, because the only place I ever spent multiple Christmases at was my grandparents' home. That was it, like our own home, because we moved all the time. And so by the time I got comfortable in one surrounding, in one neighborhood, we were off to another one. And so we should have picked up on that. And as far as no, it's fine, because when you are an adult and you have kids, you have to take everything in consideration. I had to think about how, okay, if we pack up and move to not only a new city, but a new country, how's that going to affect you guys? Yeah. So
I think too, the steadiness came for you in middle school, because you, from middle school on, you didn't leave us. We got to middle school and was like, this is it, Morgan's here. We're not moving around anymore. But I think what happened was always holding your breath. Is that going to change? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because when I played in my head, I'm like, okay, middle school, that was elementary, that was a lot. It was a whole lot going on. But time we got to middle school, baby, about the 6th, 7th grade was like, this is it. This is where you're living. We're not playing.
Well, actually, no, it was later, because even with middle school, she bounced around. Because remember, she went to 3 different middle schools. She still bounced around.
No, what I'm saying is, remember, when she got to middle school, she lived with us, but then mom and dad lived down the street. Remember, they lived Meadow Creek. Yeah. And that's when it was like, okay, enough. It was too much. Even
no, because she even still tried that crap then. She still tried that. I want to go back then, and I packed up and sent her back.
Because I think too, you did pack my baby up and sent my baby back.
Set them both down and said, "Hey, you want to beat her here?
You know what?
Be with her."
Just evil.
I'm just saying.
But I think that just trying to, when I think about it, as we're talking about it,
when I think about Jesus,
I feel like it's always I'm about to fight him.
When I think about Jesus,
trying to
how he set me free,
baby,
I can dance,
baby,
dance all night. Go ahead. You were saying deep thought.
As an adult, we try to beat the shoe before it drops. Right. So all you did as a child, now you understand that's what you were doing, was trying to beat the shoe before it dropped. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you being poetic, girl. You being profound.
It's about to change again. So let me try to beat it before it even actually drops. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things that now that you look at it, and we're talking about school, not realizing that it affected you in that way, and that school became your solitude. You know what I'm saying? Books became your solitude. And so I always think about it, because I know for me, because I moved around like y'all, I moved around a lot, from state to state, wherever, until I landed in New York. And then I didn't move from state to state, but I moved from place to place. And so, but one thing that I realized for me too was school was my consistency. Didn't matter what school I was going to. I knew I was going to be educated in English, math, you know what I'm saying, social studies. And I knew that I could do well in those things. And those are the things that I could actually control, you know? So I get it. Another thing I loved about having you all home and doing school, not only the school shopping because I love school shopping, y'all don't understand my life, but I love the pens and pencils and paper and all of that stuff, like they said, and bins of stuff. But also what I love too is school shopping as far as clothes are concerned. Like, that was like, to make sure that when y'all walked out the door, y'all look so good. I think my feelings got hurt about the end of middle school to going into high school, when you wouldn't let me dress you no more. I was devastated. I was like,
she was a high school student. Why was her mama still trying to dress her? She in high school.
Because I had to wear hard bottom dress shoes to school at least once a week.
Because yes, you know why?
You know how people looked at me?
I don't care, because you're an entrepreneur, you're a businesswoman, honey. Be ready.
I could be a businesswoman in Converse.
No, ma'am. See, that's the problem right there. I try to make sure you ready at all times. But see, the four of y'all little evil people, the little four, your little brothers and this little daughter, they evil. I try to prepare them for stuff. They fought me all the way. I was so
Bill Gates
hurt.
wear sneakers all the time, bro.
And this is why I wore what?
She's not Bill Gates.
In college? What did I wear in college?
She's not Bill Gates.
Steve Jobs wear Converse all the time, bro.
I was preparing her.
To have her feet hurt. That's what you were preparing her for.
Do you know how hard those floors were? With them hard bottom click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. People thought
you couldn't hide from nobody. Tall.
I was a middle schooler with a body. That's just how I was. People thought I was the teacher. her.
Girl, you didn't wear them every day. One time a week, you had your cute little shoes
Here come
on.
Mrs. Crenshaw.
Click, clack, click, clack, click,
Your
clack,
shoes
click,
did
clack.
not
Yes,
click, clack.
They did.
Did you about the string up shoes?
When
They
that,
did
you
not.
know it, the brown ones, you know exactly what the ones from Rack Room, you know exactly the ones I'm talking about.
They did not click.
I could not wait to get rid of them.
They did not click clack, Morgan.
Yes, they did.
They did not.
They click.
You was cute though, sis. I don't care what you say. You was
Click,
cute,
clack,
honey.
click, clack, click, clack. Ooh.
That sound like
In
control
line.
issues.
I had click clacking in line.
That sound like control
Get
issues
in line.
to
No,
me.
it's click clacking.
You gonna cry?
Yes.
I'm just saying that sound like control issues
It's
to
not
me.
control issues though.
No, it was.
It was not.
It was.
No control issues. I could have still been like, I buy the clothes. You're gonna wear what I say. But I stopped and I was like, okay.
First of all, don't just be like, oh, well, I just know. It's because I was in that back room with you talking about, babe, let it go. Let this girl choose her outfits. Let her wear what she gonna wear. Leave her alone.
But listen, I could have still said no because you said this was your words to me. I'm not dealing with the kids with school because they already turned against you. So I'm not doing homework with these kids no more because they turned against me, and I'm not telling them how to dress. They on you, and they were on me, so I didn't have to listen. But I was like,
wasn't my brother who wore slippers
listen, he snuck him out the house. See, and that's nothing.
in his book bag.
Because you trifling. Because I checked his book bag. I used to check y'all book bag before y'all left. Where the slippers, Morgan, were they in your book bag? Because I'm trying to figure out.
we never went in the same school together.
So how he get the slippers, Morgan?
He just knew how to hit them real well. Because I was promised there was probably under stuff.
You know?
No, here's what you do. You didn't check us before we left. You checked us before we went to bed.
Yeah, at nighttime. You right. Not before
That means
y'all
she
left.
slipped them at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Dang, she out here dropping on you, bruh.
I was still asleep. I don't know.
She's listen to me. I just think that everybody had their individual style. It took a while for me to handle the whole individual style. The boys not
Because
so
you're
much.
controlling.
I'm not controlling. The boys not so much. I'm like jeans, a sweatshirt. Yeah, okay, I got you. But I had finally got my little daughter, and then she just got like her brothers and just went crazy. And I
left
was
you.
devastated
Because
you left me.
You're
Sucker.
control.
I am not controlling. But she came back. See, she came back to me.
She still dressed herself. What you talking about?
Yeah,
She came
still
back
dressed
to.
herself, but me and her fall out about her little ensembles.
Because you be in my closet.
Morgan, some stuff I don't know why you put that together, and I have to tell you. You get mad, and don't do that because soon as I wear something, you be like, friend. He be like, so you try to be nice, you be like, hello, friend, come here for a moment. Where are you going somewhere with this?
I keep my thoughts to myself when it comes to you a lot, though.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You don't.
I
You
do.
know why? No, you don't. Because you are your dad and your mama's daughter, and your facial expressions tell everything. But I do not care.
You're not wrong.
Because I be looking at you like, where's she going?
I be looking corrupt.
Okay.
I be corrupt.
I just be looking at you.
I was
But
always
there's some
corrupt.
days I have to be like, Mo, we ain't doing that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. What do you miss about school? I can tell you what I miss about school, but what do you miss about school, Sanchez? What do you miss?
The camaraderie.
I
name
thought you was about to say the corona. I'm like, is you drinking in school?
I was about to say, no, we got the Rona now.
No, not that Rona, the corona.
I wasn't drinking in school. I wasn't. I was the responsible friend. I got to college and lost my mind, but not in high school.
You're still losing it. But anyway, we're not going to talk about it.
I don't necessarily miss anything about school. I have regrets about school. I don't necessarily miss anything.
Got you.
What I regret is not appreciating the time.
Yeah.
I was so busy
true.
trying to rush that time away.
Yeah.
I was so busy wanting to be something else. I was so busy wanting to be an adult. I was so busy wanting to be responsible.
That's good, babe.
With not knowing what that actually meant. Because I was longing for something, but I had no idea the price. I didn't know the price I was going to pay for it.
Yeah.
So I wish, for me, it's like, for school, I wish I would have took school more serious and enjoyed that time more.
Yeah.
And actually apply myself more and just enjoyed being in school.
Right.
That's what I necessarily quote unquote miss about it. Just not enjoying the time.
Yeah. How about you?
The camaraderie.
You don't got no camaraderie now?
I do, but we're all adults now.
Yeah. I got you.
So it's one of those things where like we have to physically make time for each other.
Gotta
Right.
pencil each
It's
other
cool. We
in.
will see each other every day. In the morning, at lunchtime, in a class or two, in the afternoon.
That makes sense.
We
I
knew,
got you.
we knew for a fact we were going to see each other.
Yeah.
If not, they were sick, they're out of town, but we knew for a fact. Now we actually have to make the decision to see each other. And that's not always easy.
Right.
When we have 17 things going on, or I can't get this PTO off, or I don't have this, or the money, there's so many factors that go into hanging out with your friends now. And it's like, when I want to be social, I want to be social. I don't want to have to be like, are you free tonight? Do you not have any responsibilities?
What?
No responsibilities. Where are your responsibilities tonight?
Welcome to adulthood.
I don't like it.
You don't like adulthood?
No, adulting is not for me.
Listen, I think I miss, like Cynthia said, the rushing of it. I mean, I was a mom in high school. Like my senior year, I was a mom. When I graduated across that stage, I had a baby on my lap. You know, I had my oldest. And so I had the best time in high school. Middle school, again, was my absolute best time. It's not that I didn't enjoy high school, but I fought a lot in high school because I was very angry. So I kind of pushed that time that I became a mom. And so it was so much going on in high school for me that I didn't allow myself to be a teenager. I immediately, for some reason in my mind, wanted to be an adult.
Right.
I felt like me doing that, everybody else tried to control, kind of like with Morgan, everybody else can control everything else, but you can't control this. This I control, my education, my mind, my knowledge. And I think for me, that's the way I am now. I can't control a lot of things, but what I put in this brain of mine, and you can take anything from me, but you can't take knowledge from me. And that's why I'm always reading and trying to learn new stuff. And I think that for me, and I just think that I grew up too quick and I didn't appreciate, you know, because I didn't go to my prom like everybody else. You know, I went to my graduation, but not my prom. I may have went to maybe 2 or 3 school trips, but not a lot of the school trips like everybody else did. You know, I didn't allow myself to be a teenager. I went in being an adult. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
you know?
No, the same. I didn't take advantage. I didn't take advantage of school. I didn't take advantage of that time.
Yeah.
Because I didn't go to any proms. I never went to my proms.
Wow.
I didn't go to my high school graduation. I didn't do any of that.
Right.
You know, I didn't do the things. I was so busy trying to be something else that I just missed being a kid during that time.
Yeah.
I missed, you know, like when I go back and I look at like all the, you know, like and it's random, like the high school musicals and all the high school shows and everything. And, you know, all these shows where they have these 42-year-old people playing high school kids.
Really, baby?
You know, and like that high school life.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have that. I'm gonna be honest. I was too busy committing crimes.
Yeah.
And I was too busy getting arrested and finding things to do that were against the law. And you know, I was too busy
being an adult.
I was too busy trying to be an adult.
Yeah.
That's something I was so not ready for.
Yeah.
That's something I had no idea. I was so busy wanting to pay for something but I didn't know how much it cost to pay for it.
Yeah. And it cost.
It cost.
It cost. I don't regret absolutely anything in my life, to be honest. It is just what it is. But I do understand that there's some other decisions that I could have made.
Yeah.
I think in this world we have to realize that we have nothing but a whole bunch of options, and it's our choice what we choose to do with the options. The reason why I wanted to do the school, of course, do remember our first school, but to really, hopefully, like, parents will let the kids hear, or just parents will convey to their children, slow down. It's okay.
Yeah, stop being in a rush.
Stop being in a rush. Adulthood is coming this is what I need people to understand, whether you like it or not, adulthood is coming. You ain't got to rush that.
All you got to do is live.
All you got to do is just live. But
That's
I think
all you gotta do is live.
Enjoy high school. Do things that you've never done before. You know, I always think about where I had friends who would go abroad, you know, and go to London and all these other places. And
I knew a couple of broads.
I don't like him, and so that's what I needed to say.
I'm just saying. I
That went abroad, and I just felt like that was corny. The things that I felt was corny in high school and geeky is the very thing I wish I would have done now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, go abroad, learn another language. It was like, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody doing that. That's so corny, because I wanted to be the cool kid. I wanted to be the fly chick. You know, I was all those things, but I'm just saying I wanted to do that. I didn't. And
humble brag much?
Yeah, humble brag. But I did not consider, and again, I was a straight A student all my, like, elementary, middle, high school, college.
Right.
Always been an A student. But the extra activities that I saw my daughter do, the extra activities I seen my sons do, that they had an option to do, to just be children, I not only didn't have that option, but I didn't even pursue it. Does that make sense? Like, I saw it, you could pursue it, but I didn't even pursue it.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so that's where I am with that.
On that, so that's where we're going to actually stop it there.
Yes.
Because we continue now, we're just going to be rambling. Turtle, what's your final thought?
Were we rambling now?
You were. I wasn't. You were.
Oh, I was rambling.
You was rambling.
Okay, cool.
I never ramble.
Ha! Yeah, Morgan, give him that face, sis.
Anyway.
Right.
This is coming from a teacher's point of view. This is no longer from a student's point of view or a young adult point of view. This is from a teacher. Pay close attention to what your kids are telling you without them trying to tell you. Mm-hmm. Kids will speak without telling you. And I know it's so hard to get wrapped up, or it's so hard to just brush off a C or brush off a bad grade. Sit them down and ask why. One thing I will say, as much as it got on my nerves, is sit down with your kids during homework time and sit down and actually be like, okay, so what are you learning today? My father had a thing where every day I walked in, he was like, what did you learn in school today? Mm-hmm. I had to tell him one thing I learned.
Yep.
So ask him one thing, ask him one high, ask him one low, and actually listen to what they're trying to tell you. They want you to be part of their lives. Even as a teacher, they want you to be part of their lives. Yeah. Don't go buck like my parents and sit in front of the classroom until they get there.
Sometimes you just got to be in the classroom.
But listen.
Sometimes you got to sit at that kitchen table with some of your children.
What's your final thought, niece?
My final thought is, for freshmen, for juniors, sophomores, and seniors, be that thing. If you're a freshman, be a freshman. Right. If you're a sophomore, be a sophomore. If you're a junior, be a junior. Because let me tell you, senior year, I think the quickest year that ever happened was senior year.
Yeah, it goes by so quick.
I was like, there's no way. Wait a minute, I didn't even get her address yet. Like, why? Why is she graduating right now? What is that about? Be whatever season you in. Be present in the season that you're in, young people, is what I would say.
My final thought is going to be for the parents, and I'm going to keep it really simple.
Oh, my God. You always say something simple.
It is simple.
Go ahead, baby.
Let your kids be kids. Mm-hmm. Yes, teach them. Yes, rear them. Yes, give them a foundation of what they need. Parent them. You're not their friend. You're their parent. Mm-hmm. Parent them. Mm-hmm. However, don't rush them. Don't rush them out of their childhood. Don't rush them out of their adolescence. Don't rush them out of their teen. Because as a parent, you're looking 4 and 5 years down the road. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. And with that, because you're looking so far down the road, is that you're missing the current journey that they're on. Mm-hmm. So allow them to make a mistake. Allow them to learn from the mistake. Mm-hmm. Guide them and parent them, but just don't rush them. Let them be a kid. So that's going to be my final thought.
Yeah, welcome back to school, guys.
Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey. Be amazing. Be incredible. We love you guys.
It's that time of the year.
Yes, it is.
So family, we thank you.
Freedom Friday.
Freedom Friday.
You just never know.
Never know. Turtle, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
I know you were a last minute addition, and I know you wasn't really given a choice behind it.
Didn't we say she was controlling?
Very much so. Hasn't changed.
Who the producer?
I'm the producer.
Who controlling then?
Wow. I'm just saying, I told you, family, I've been in this 21 years.
I ain't never missed a day.
21 consecutive years.
Morgan?
That mean I ain't never missed a day.
Where we going?
That skit is hilarious.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to punch you.
So, family, as always, thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening.
However
you're listening, whether it's on iTunes, whether it's on Podbean, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Google Play, whether it's Amazon Music, whether it's iHeartRadio, or on our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com. Mm-hmm. Remember, we consider ourselves an interactive podcast, which means we can be found on the socials. Yes. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, all in the Crenshaw Corner. Yeah. And of course, you can email us at any time at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Once again, thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Yes. And as always, family, welcome to our journey.
We love you guys. Bye. Bye.